coverage you can count on. KOMU 8 News starts now.
The Columbia Airport is shutting down. No flights in or out of Columbia Regional Airport for 1 week or more, starting tomorrow. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Emily Spain.
And I'm Jim Rick. Thanks for joining us. The city addressed problems with the intersection of the two runways that forced American and United Airlines to cancel flights all weekend long. We have team coverage on the airport's closing. We begin with KOMU 8's Kasha Carriage to tell us how we got to this point.
Normally, there are about 8 to 9 flights that go in and out of this airport every day, and today, only one. Now, the airlines canceled after pilots shared their concerns about landing on the backup runway because the main runway is under construction. Now, the backup runway does meet FAA standards, but it is a little bit smaller and a little bit shorter. Now, if you take a look here on your screen, you can see on the graph that the main runway is in yellow, which is currently under construction. This means that all flights were supposed to land on the red runway. Where they intersect is in the purple, and this is a bump called the Crown. This is a video from today of the runway in question, and you can make out a slight bump in the far left corner. The interim city manager compared the bump to the intersection of Broadway and Highway 63. That bump in the intersection causes your wheels to move the same way as an airplane landing. The wheels of the plane were having trouble landing on the running intersection, which was causing rough takeoffs and landings.
Proof's in the pudding. Until you drive over it, you don't really know how rough it's going to be. If a pilot has any kind of concerns, I have concerns. And so for me, it's about safety.
The crown causing the bump is required to help drain water off of the runway. We did speak to travelers all day at the airport about their confusion and their questions for the sudden closure. Live in Columbia, Kasha Carriage, KOMU 8 News.
The city made the announcement of the closure this afternoon during a news conference. KOMU 8's Kara Strickland joins us live from the airport with the city's plans.
The interim city manager stressed today that the runway is in fact safe, but he says that it will have to close down completely in order to make some minor modifications in order to make takeoff and landing run more smoothly. Now, this will include working with engineers and using asphalt to smooth things out. He said the airport will stay closed for a week, but that plan could change if weather does not cooperate. He says the money will come from the airport, but how much it will cost is still up in the air.
You know, I don't know. Financial, I don't know what it's going to cost to fix. So we're working through that. As far as revenue numbers, you know, every passenger we get revenue off of. And so it just depends on how long it takes. And we're trying to do it.
This has been in the planning stages for over a decade. At 6, we will take you through a timeline of how we got here where we are now. Reporting live in Columbia, Kara Strickland, KOMU 8 News.
Schools, daycares, even sports teams in Missouri can't turn away children who have not been vaccinated. But a bill that would change that is drawing even more controversy. KOMU 8's Austin Walker is here in the studio with more on what supporters and opponents had to say at House hearing today.
Today, Republican Senator Lynn Morris addressed an overflowing room of people about House Bill 711. The bill would not allow places to discriminate against parents who do not vaccinate their children. Some call it a safety precaution, and others say it's a new form of discrimination.
And they said it was a reaction from the vaccines. The next day, he was never the same.
He's saying discriminated against.
Both sides say they're fighting for children.
Absolutely. I always want to keep kids as safe as possible.
The bill prohibits any types of discrimination against children who are not vaccinated. But some say their child's right to a normal life was ripped away.
We were denied entry into a state-funded daycare
because she was unvaccinated. One Missourian says her son was never the same after getting just 4 shots.
His life is ruined. He will never be able to get married, have a career. He will die alone.
Wallen swears that vaccines ruined his life. But one pediatrician says while some parents are concerned, her door is always open to discuss.
I always want to keep kids as safe as possible. And because there's been concerns, there have been study after study of showing how safe vaccines are and how effective they are and that they actually save lives.
There are people that's trying to take away the...
Senator Morris says he can't back down because he will be giving up on thousands of people. One person today went as far as to call this a new form of bullying. For more information on the bill, visit our website at KOMU.com. In the studio, Austin Walker, KOMU 8 News.
Well, it was another warm one today. I hope you're able to get out there and enjoy it. A high temperature today in the upper 70s for a lot of us. Currently at 78 in Columbia and Jeff City. Those are the current high temperatures for us here. 75 in Moberly, still 78 down at Lake of the Ozarks too. Now looking at satellite and radar, you can see all the moisture and cloud cover we had is all pushing off over towards the east. Didn't see too much of that this weekend, but we did have some pop-up showers and thunderstorms yesterday. Meanwhile, I'm tracking our next system. It's a low pressure system that's just getting into the state of Washington. It's going to track across the Rocky Mountains, eventually get it into the Great Plains, and then head back up towards the Great Lakes. As that moves through, it's not only going to affect our temperatures, we're still going to be very warm over the next couple days, around 80 again on Wednesday. Then we're going to cool way down by the end of this week, and it's going to be very windy as well. I'm tracking all that hour by hour. We have a slight chance for rain there too. Checking it coming up.
Okay, Kenton, thank you very much. Here's what's happening right now. Just an hour ago, a U.S. judge issued an injunction halting the Trump administration's policy of sending some asylum seekers back across the southern border to wait out their cases in Mexico. The ruling is slated to take effect on Friday. That's according to the order by a U.S. district judge in San Francisco.
Major shakeups today within the Trump administration. Secretary of Homeland Security Kirstjen Nielsen is out. That's not all. The head of the Secret Service is also out. NBC's Blaine Alexander reports.
The department in charge of securing the southern border is without a permanent leader. Homeland Security Secretary Kirstjen Nielsen has resigned under pressure from President Trump.
I share the president's goal of securing the border. I will continue to support all efforts to address the humanitarian and security crisis on the border.
The president announcing her departure on Twitter over the weekend, briefly tweeting his thanks. His frustration with Nielsen intensifying in recent months. NBC News has learned the president wanted to reinstate the controversial policy of separating migrant families at the southern border. Nielsen resisted.
She has said legally he just can't do it. The president got irate. I'm hearing there are heated exchanges.
It's a policy she publicly defended last year.
What we did do was we applied the law equally to anybody who broke it.
Her resignation comes just 2 days after traveling to the border with President Trump. Taking her place, Kevin McAleenan, appointed acting DHS secretary, leaving his post at the head of Customs and Border Protection vacant, days after giving this warning about the country's immigration system.
That breaking point has arrived this week at our border.
And it's not just a shakeup at the top. Today, Secret Service Director Randolph Tex Alice, who reported to Nielsen, is also out. An administration official says it's part of planned changes throughout the Department of Homeland Security. Blaine Alexander, NBC News, Washington.
The president named James Murray to take over the Secret Service. Other posts within the department, including ICE and FEMA, are still operating with acting directors.
We're learning President Trump has recently pushed to reinstate the family separation policy at the southern border. Trump got rid of that policy last summer after public outrage and scrutiny from the courts. Multiple sources say he wanted families separated even if they arrived at a legal port of entry and were legal asylum seekers. They say he also wanted families separated if they were apprehended within the U.S. because separations deter other migrants from coming to the country.
Coming up, a new conflict between the U.S. and Iran, how it started and what are the problems.
Plus, guilty pleas are coming out of the college admissions scandal after the break. What an actress admits to doing to get her daughter in college.
And we have calm winds right now, but that is certainly not the case later this week. I'm tracking those details hour by hour in my full forecast coming up.
And you're taking a live look over the Columbia Regional Airport. That is one of the 3 locations where they're doing heavy-duty construction work on the main runway. It is 5:07. This is KOMU 8 News, first at 5. Coverage you can count on.
Wheel is America's game.
All right, let's do it.
And nothing's more American than winning big on Wheel.
Wow. You look happy.
We're happy.
Weeknights at 6:30 on KOMU 8.
I'm Lester Holt. Join me for NBC Nightly News at 5:30, followed by KOMU 8 News at 6. Coverage you can count on.
Wheel of Fortune, weeknights at 6:30 on KOMU 8. Track storms wherever you are. Download the free KOMU 8 Weather and Traffic app. Brought to you by University Subaru.
Need glasses now? We have a lens lab in every store and can make them for you in as little as 30 minutes.
2 pairs start at just $38.71, and 91% of our glasses are ready the same day. No one makes glasses faster than iMart Express.
We've had all kinds of conversations throughout the years. Sometimes they're short. Sometimes they're sweet. Sometimes they're simple. But they're always important. Keep the lines of communication open. Talk to your teen about drunk driving today.
See it, believe it. The full Hyundai lineup available at Joe Machens Hyundai with impressive offers on every Hyundai model, all sold with true upfront pricing. View hundreds of new Hyundais on our big board with prices and discounts clearly marked. Every new Hyundai comes with America's best 10-year, 100,000-mile warranty and our 3-day love it or leave it guarantee. Worry-free car buying with true upfront pricing. All roads lead to Joe Machens Hyundai at JoeMachensHyundai.com.
Love camping? We've got clothes for snuggling, coolers for packing, and hammocks for napping, plus other gear and gadgets. So check us out before you check out. Crane's Country Store in beautiful downtown Williamsburg. Boots, bullets, britches, baloney.
The First Alert Weather Cam is brought to you by the law firm of Harper, Evans, Wade, and Nettemeyer. We will fight for you.
Welcome back. Trump announced today the U.S. will formally designate Iran's Revolutionary Guard Corps, an elite military force, as a foreign terrorist organization. This is the first time the U.S. has ever named a part of another government as a foreign terrorist organization. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo went into additional detail while speaking with reporters.
For 40 years, the Islamic Republic's Revolutionary Guard Corps has actively engaged in terrorism and created, supported, and directed other terrorist groups. The IRGC masquerades as a legitimate military organization, but none of us should be fooled.
Iranian leaders warned the U.S. they will reciprocate, and they did. Lawmakers there today drafted measures that describes the U.S. Army as a terrorist organization. It's an unprecedented step that experts say raises the tension in the Middle East. Iran's Revolutionary Guards was set up after the Islamic Revolution in 1979 and has a big influence over Iran's political system.
Relatives of the Lion Air crash victims are suing Boeing after the company's CEO apologized. Family members say the apology is an admission of guilt. Today, 11 families filed suits against Boeing. The 737 MAX 8's anti-stall system is believed to be the cause of both the Lion Air and Ethiopian airline crash. Preliminary reports found faulty sensor readings made the anti-stall system trigger, causing the planes to crash.
Well, it is another calm day tomorrow, which is nice for us because then we have a lot of wind later this week, and we're also tracking slight chances for rain for our weekend. Have your full forecast coming up with a lot of details after the break.
It's time to turn heads in a Toyota. Turn up your drive in the all-new 2019 RAV4 Adventure with standard all-wheel drive. Turn up your comfort in the Highlander with seating for 8. Turn up your safety in the all-new 2019 RAV4 Limited with standard pre-collision. This spring, turn up the heat in a Toyota. Every new Toyota comes with Toyota Care, our no-cost maintenance plan with roadside assistance. Find yours at buyatoyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
Are you suffering from serious back or neck problems or pain from an auto injury? Dr. Kyle Bowers can help. The DRX 9000 has been proven to relieve pain from bulging and herniated discs, sciatica, and even failed back surgery. Pressure between discs is relieved, drawing water, oxygen, and nutrients to the damaged area. Contact Dr. Bowers today for a free consultation. DRX 9000 treatment is affordable and accepted by most insurance. Dr. Kyle Bowers, adjusting lives every day.
You've been injured at work. If you're thinking about handling your own claim without the help of an attorney, you should know that Missouri studies show on average, injured workers with the help of an attorney receive more than twice the settlement of those that go it alone. Before you decide, call the Hines & Wilson Law Firm with your questions about the work comp law. Why? Settle for less. Trusted, respected. The Hines & Wilson Law Firm. Call for a free and confidential consultation.
Closed captioning of KOMU 8 News is brought to you by these KOMU 8 Salute to Service partners.
Hey,
Hey folks, Jerry and Alec, Continental Siding. It's time for a good spring cleaning. We've got siding too short to be seamless, but too long to be recycled. So we're having a seams on the back of the house sale.
If we can use our shorter pieces of siding on the back of your home to make a few seams, we'll make the front and two sides totally seamless. It's almost like getting the back done free.
This won't last long, so click or call now.
It begins as a wish to drive something different. Elegant design and advanced technology. A luxury crossover without the luxury price. Now, everything you wished for in a crossover can be crossed off your list. At Joe Maukens Mazda, get a well-equipped 2018 Mazda CX-5 for only $22,750. Or give in to temptation in a 2018 Mazda MX-5 Miata for only $27,360. It's your last chance to get the best incentives on these remaining 2018s. All roads lead to Joe Maukens Mazda and JoeMaukensMazda.com.
Actress Felicity Huffman has agreed to plead guilty to charges related to a college admissions scandal. Huffman will plead guilty to one count of conspiracy and another count of mail fraud. The actress admits to using money to rig her daughter's college entrance exam. Huffman is among a group of 14 people agreeing to plead guilty. A date has not been set for her to enter her plea. Amid a sexual abuse scandal, former Michigan State University president appeared in court today. This is the second hearing that will determine if Lou Anna Simon will face trial in relation to the Larry Nassar sex abuse scandal. Simon faces charges that she lied to police about not knowing of Nassar's behavior. Prosecutors say Simon attended a meeting in 2014 about the Nassar scandal, but her lawyers say she didn't. Hundreds of women and girls have accused him of molesting them while working at Michigan State and for the U.S. gymnastics team.
In Louisiana, 3 historically black churches have burned to the ground within the past 2 weeks. The 3 churches were located a few miles apart. The FBI and the ATF have joined the investigation. The fires were March 26th, April 2nd, and April 4th. The fire marshal has not offered a motive. Investigators are also looking at a 4th fire at a church 3 hours away. So far, no connection there. New footage today shows an American tourist arriving safely at Queen Elizabeth Park after being kidnapped in Uganda. Kimberly Endicott and her driver were released by their kidnappers. Ugandan police don't think they got a ransom, but a tour operator disagrees. They were kidnapped at Queen Elizabeth National Park, the country's most popular safari destination.
Well, our average high temperature for the next 5 days is actually about 65 degrees. You can see a lot of sunshine out there on our first alert weather cam over the Sedalia area, and we are certainly above that 65-degree average high temperature nowadays. Tomorrow we're going to keep that. We're going to be around 73 there, then around 81 on Wednesday, but that's when the winds start to roll in, as I mentioned earlier, and then we are going to start a cooling trend. High temperature of only 48 by Saturday, and I think even by Sunday morning. So the low temperature Friday night into Sunday morning could be near freezing. So we're going from 81 to eventually freezing to start off the weekend on Saturday morning. So, and all of this is due to a developing low pressure system that's just getting into the Pacific Northwest. You can see there is some moisture over there with that as well. It's eventually making its way over the Rocky Mountains, and it's going to head down towards really the panhandle of Texas and Oklahoma. So let's go ahead and track all of this hour by hour here with Weathercast. So for us tomorrow, we are still going to be mostly sunny at just a few passing clouds, warm once again, but calm with our winds at least for one more day. Then this system gets a little closer to us, and that's going to happen on our Wednesday. A few more clouds starting to roll in on Wednesday too, as snow starts to fall over the Rocky Mountains and the northern plains especially. You can see this is then Wednesday evening, a little bit more cloud cover. So as we head then into our Thursday, this is this low pressure system getting a little closer to us. Now I've added lines to this graph, and that's because I want to get a little bit more specific to explain really what's going on with this system. These lines are areas of pressure, right? And so these lines are changing pressure. So the pressure getting higher, of course, the farther away from the low pressure center that you get. So basically, the closer these lines are together, the quicker pressure is changing. Wind blows because it's trying to equalize imbalances in air pressure. So that means the closer these lines are, the more pressure is changing, or the more rapid it's changing, and the stronger our winds are. So the closer the lines, the stronger the wind. So we have a lot of that over there. We do have them a little bit farther apart here, but we actually have a jet stream overhead that's going to mix down. So it's still very windy for us on Thursday. Thursday is likely going to be the windiest day for us. It's also very warm. But another thing to notice with this, we have dry air actually that's moving in from the desert. And so we are not going to be seeing too much moisture from this. That's all going to be to our north. Blizzard-like conditions potential over there in in Nebraska, where they're still trying to deal with the catastrophic flooding that they saw. And then we have more moisture up to our north in Iowa as well. But it's mainly dry, just a brief shower possible on Thursday. It's the winds that we're looking at here for this, and I'll show you those in another moment. Then as we head into our day on Friday, this low pressure system starts to get out of here. It's still going to be breezy, but that's when all this cool air starts to push in, as I mentioned, on the back side of that. So now our wind is from the north, and so it's going to be much cooler as we head through our weekend. Certainly colder this weekend than it was this past weekend for us. No 80-degree temperatures this weekend, highs only in the 50s, but it is dry on Saturday. As we head into Sunday, another system from the south could move in, giving us some rain showers for the end of our weekend. Let's go ahead and look at these winds, though. Hour by hour, you can see these are wind gust potential. We could see up to 45 to, I would say, even 55-mile-per-hour wind gusts on Thursday, depending on just how strong that low pressure system is and how strong the jet stream is above us, too. Finally, on Friday, wind gusts only about 35 to 40 miles per hour. But again, it's going to be a long time there on Thursday with a lot of wind, so we could actually have still a little bit of damage just from that wind blowing around all day long. 50 degrees for our low temperature tonight. It's very warm, very mild for us. 73 tomorrow, not bad. Gusts up to 20 miles per hour tomorrow, but that'd be the most we see. Gusts close to 40 miles per hour then on Wednesday. Gusts around 55 to 60 miles per hour potentially on Thursday, and then we cool down into the weekend, 48 there. Then we're at around freezing on Saturday morning, even though it's not showing up on that map, and then another rain chance by the end of the weekend on Sunday.
Kenton, thank you very much. The Illinois governor just signed a bill to stop the use of tobacco. That's coming up after the break.
We'll have late details of the arrest of a man authorities say was plotting to ram a U-Haul into pedestrians at a Maryland tourist area inspired by ISIS. Also, our exclusive interview with the CEO of GoFundMe about fraud and where your money ends up tonight.
If you've been seriously injured in an accident, visit lawmissouri.com.
At Joe Mockins Nissan, our commercial vehicles are built for work. Mid-Missouri relies on you to fix the power, keep it warm, and ensure the job is done right. That's why local business counts on commercial vans from Joe Mockins Nissan. See our full line of built-in-America commercial vans. Transform your vehicle into a custom workspace with Nissan's no-charge upfit allowance, all backed by America's best 5-year, 100,000-mile warranty. When you don't drive to an office because your van is your office. All roads lead to Joe Mockins Nissan, Providence Road and I-70, Columbia.
Tonight and tomorrow, it's the final week of battle rounds. And with steals around every corner.
Didn't see that coming.
One coach will make a drastic choice.
Stop. I don't think it works.
The Voice, new tonight and tomorrow on NBC.
They're closing in on their greatest enemy.
We're going to turn the tables on him, go on offense.
To take him down, will they sacrifice an innocent life?
One life to save countless more. Make a choice for the greater good.
The Enemy Within, tonight on NBC.
It's exhausting. The point is, I'm at the mercy of the world, and I hate it.
I'm at the mercy of the world. I hate it.
Shut up.
In the Dark, new series this Thursday at 9/8 Central on the CW.
Welcome back. In your health news, the Illinois governor signed a bill today that bans minors from buying tobacco. Starting in July, to buy any tobacco or nicotine-based product in the state, you have to be at least 21. Currently, the legal age is 18. Illinois joined several other states in raising the age minimum. Businesses will face fines if they are caught selling to minors. Getting a good night's sleep, boy, don't we want it all, and especially important for you being able to focus, especially among teenagers. Researchers at Cincinnati Children's Hospital conducted a study to observe sleep habits of teens with ADHD. For 1 week, their sleep was restricted, and for another week, they could sleep for as long as they wanted. During the week where teens got more sleep, they performed better on cognitive and memory tests. There is new research out today about youth and suicide. A study out of Canada shows an increase in hospital visits for suicide attempts or thoughts. The number of suicide-related visits nearly doubled over the past 8 years. Scientists are still unsure what is causing the rise in numbers. And we'll be right back.
Coming up tomorrow on KOMU 8 News Today.
An alderman race in Holt Summit could not have been closer. A look at tomorrow night's event that will decide the winner.
Plus, the ongoing need for organ and eye donations will be brought to the halls of the state capitol. We'll have a preview.
And it looks to stay mild for the next couple of days, but rain is on the way. I'll have to look at your forecast.
Great days begin with great mornings. KOMU 8 News Today. Coverage you can count on.
For 50 years, Cracker Barrel has been making folks feel right at home with meals like home-style country fried steak, grandma's sampler, and our signature chicken and dumplings. So come on home to what you love. Come on home to Cracker Barrel.
Menards is our go-to store when we update our house. We're adding new lights, and seeing all the latest styles in person at Menards was a huge help. The selection was amazing, and we found Patriot lighting fixtures for our whole house. We're so happy with the final touches that Patriot Lighting adds to our home. Enjoy exquisite elegance and superior craftsmanship with Patriot Lighting. Available at Menards.
Get 11% off everything, including Patriot Lighting at Menards.
Hi, this is Kendall Surdike, and at Surdike Yamaha, we have been selling and serving the Ozarks for almost 50 years. We've learned during that time that our customers expect the best in their Yamahas, with same-day service and even courtesy loaner units. That is why at Surdike Yamaha, you receive 1 year of free scheduled maintenance with every new and used recreational Yamaha bought. You can have more fun with your Yamaha boats and wave runners that are assembled right here in the USA and won't have to worry about maintenance costs for the first year because it is on us.
You ride on a reputation. Family Health Center, primary and preventative health care for the whole family, including dental care.
The providers there are on the cutting edge of the newest things out.
Think of us first when you get sick or if you have a toothache. Also for cleanings and annual checkups.
The collaboration we have allows us to treat their mouth, their mind, and their body.
Including these important services. Family Health Center with 3 convenient Columbia locations. Family Health Center, health and care within reach.
CashNetUSA.com, man. I help when money's tight. If approved, you may get the money you need as soon as tomorrow. Ha! Ha!
Apply now at CashNetUSA.com.
Money's on the way with CashNet USA.
University Subaru believes every animal deserves a safe home. That's why we're a proud sponsor of KOMU 8's Pet Corner.
Hey everyone, stay in Pet Corner with me. I have Marshmallow, and Marshmallow is only 6 months old, still just a pup. Has a lot of puppy energy in him, or in her, excuse me, for sure. A bit shy in new places, but don't worry, she's going to warm up next to you. And when she does, she's not going to leave you. Very loyal dog here, I can already tell. Also, loves to play around with toys too, would love an active home. You can learn more at cmhspets.org.
Welcome back. No flights in or out of Columbia Regional Airport starting tomorrow. The city announced a full closure for at least a week. KOMU 8's Kasha Carriage is live at the airport with a recap.
Interim City Manager John Glasscock says the runway is safe to use, but that the airport will close so that they can fix the bump in the intersection called the Crown. It's a bump that allows for draining on the runway, and it is required. It is at the intersection of where the main runway hits the backup runway that the planes are currently using. Airlines started canceling flights on Friday when pilots started to share their concerns about landing on this runway. The backup runway is smaller and shorter, but it is FAA approved. Glasscock does not know how much it will cost the city to make these modifications. Live in Columbia, Kasha Carriage, KOMU 8 News.
Now here's a look at what we're following at KOMU 8 News at 6.
What the airport closure means for Columbia businesses like taxi cab companies. That's coming up at 6. Kenton.
Not too bad here late this afternoon. Temperatures still in the 70s for the next couple hours, eventually getting down into the 60s overnight, and then eventually right around 50 actually by sunrise. But don't worry, we'll warm back up into the lower and middle 70s for your Tuesday with mostly sunny skies. And then we have a lot of wind to deal with for the middle and end of this week. That's going to be the big story.
80 degrees. Wow.
And very windy, yeah.
Okay.
Spring 2019 is already better than spring of 2018.
We have one so far.
Much better, true.
On air, online, on Facebook, on Twitter, on the news app, and the weather app. KOMU 8 News. Coverage you can count on.
I can keep up with my grandkids again.
I can get back in my garden. I'm cooking Sunday dinners again.
You may not be in your 30s anymore, but that